Okay. Can you all hear me? So, good. Greetings, colleagues, students, and friends. Can you believe it? We're in the fall semester. Happy fall semester. It's great seeing everybody today. I hope your year is off to a great beginning. We welcome all of you here in Scott Ring and all of you attending virtually. Let me just do a little appeal as we go forward with these town hall meetings each month. I would love to encourage as many people as possible to attend on ground. I recognize everybody can't, and that's fine. But if you can, and particularly if you're on campus anyway, join us on ground, because I'm hearing a lot of feedback about how now that we're seeing more on ground activity again, it seems to be more meaningful for meetings when we see each other and can interact with each other. So we'll continue to do these, of course, hybrid. But right now, it looks like we're about evenly split between on-ground and virtual. I'd like to see us move toward more on-ground if possible. Monday marked the 22nd anniversary of 9/11, and the college held an inspirational remembrance event attended by many of you. I ask you to join me in a moment of silence for all the victims of the horrific events of 9/11, 2001, including those lost, their families and loved ones, and all in our local and world communities who are victims of oppression, violence, racism, and injustice. And let's also pause to reflect on the massive loss of life and devastation caused by a recent catastrophic earthquake in Morocco and a ravaging and deadly flood in Libya. A moment of silence, please. Thank you. From everything I'm seeing, our new academic year is off to an enthusiastic, busy, and I think really good start. We opened the year, as many of us know, probably most, with vibrant, informative, inspirational, and well-attended college service day and convocation programs. Certainly our newly reimagined convocation that was offered on the first day of classes was a great success. It was officially the welcome to new students here, and students met with their deans and faculty and staff in various buildings, then proceeded here to the Culinary Conference Center, to this room, where they heard motivational remarks from keynote speaker Freddie Shegog, followed by an outdoor picnic in the Culinary Plaza Park. And this room was filled to capacity. I don't think I've ever seen it more filled to capacity, standing room only. As were overflow rooms where attendees watched the program virtually. That included the banquet room downstairs, the Johnston room, and there was an overflow attendance at the North Hudson campus. I think they had to go beyond the multipurpose room. And I think we had over 100 people attending via Zoom. So all told, clearly over 450 new students, faculty, and staff attended convocation. And I want to take this opportunity to thank Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Darrell Jones, the All-College Council, Linda Guastini, Dr. Paula Roberson, all of the IT staff, and whenever you do this, you're leaving people out. Everybody that played a role for making this such a special event, and it clearly was an event that resonated with students. We could see that based on their questions and comments, and so applause for everybody for that, I think, new model. It's a new way of starting the academic year. We thank the All-College Council for reimagining this. I think it was a good change. And, eventually, as you'll hear later, that we're actually going to start to make progress on the tower. We'll actually be able to do all of that in one room when the tower opens and we have our gymnasium. And then over 250 faculty, staff, and students attended College Service Day that included a very successful launch of our new employee annual giving campaign. We heard inspirational remarks of several employee donors and student and alumni, both scholarship recipients and alumni donors. And we also heard from faculty and staff colleagues about areas of the college that can benefit from employee funding support. I want to emphasize our goal in this campaign, and this is new for us. We have never organized ourselves around an employee annual appeal to support an area of the college that is meaningful to you. As we all know, There is need everywhere, and we hope you'll participate. It's not the dollar amount that we're concerned about. Whatever is comfortable, whether it's $1, per pay period, or something more significant for those that can afford it. Whatever is comfortable, we hope you'll participate, because what we are most interested in, well, we are interested in the dollars because they'll accumulate and they'll make a difference. But we want 100% employee participation, because as we now increasingly ask major gift prospective donors, people and organizations that can give at a very high level, which can be transformational for the college, when we ask them for their investment in what we do and in the mission of this college, it is very helpful and resonates with potential donors when employees are participating across the college, because that demonstrates your belief in this mission, and I know you all do. So we hope some of you have already stepped up, and we appreciate that. Again, employees are able to designate the area of the college that their giving will benefit, and this truly does begin a new chapter in our continuous improvement of fundraising and the cultivation of grants to advance our college's goals and dreams in support of our students, our community, our shared values, and our college's mission. And I want to take this opportunity to thank Shanine Caruana and the Development and Planning Committee of the All-College Council, Vice President Nicole Johnson and her team, and all involved in this new employee annual giving campaign. And I want to take this opportunity to mention that we're seeing significant growth, thanks to many people, in grant proposals and awarded grant funding as we continue to develop a college-wide grant writing culture. We had just a spectacular presentation at the Board of Trustees meeting yesterday by Dr. Burl Yearwood and 4 of his faculty colleagues, talking about some pretty transformational and important work being done partially with NSF and other grant support. I asked Veronica Zeitner recently, how much money beyond our operating budgets do we spend to further our mission? Because our operating budget is money that obviously is used for operating expenses all across the college, and it's funded through county and state support and tuition and Pell Grants and such. But we actually are doing a lot more than just, and I shouldn't say just, but I think our budget is what, $72 million in operating. We probably have another upwards of $8 to $10 million that we are spending outside of that operating budget as a result of grants and gifts and other forms of external support. So as that number climbs, frankly, our margin of excellence, our ability to do things at a very high level in support of our students and our community gets all the more, it becomes an even greater outcome. And the other thing about this work is we know we can't control changes in things like the support we receive from the county. Fortunately, that's been going up and not down, and they've been very generous. That may not always be the case. Same for the state, same for the feds. We advocate, but we don't make the decisions. But the extent to which we can begin to grow an endowment and attract funds outside of those traditional sources has everything to do with our ability to be a truly highly performing institution that has maximum impact. So all of us can play a role here. I'd like to invite now Vice President for Advancement and Communications, Nicole Johnson, to speak briefly about the Employee Annual Giving Campaign and how you can participate if you're not already. Nicole, there she is.
Thank you, Chris. Good morning, everyone. I'm delighted to be talking with you this morning. A big thank you to the employees who have already participated in the college's first ever employee giving campaign. The stories that were shared by our colleagues a couple of weeks ago, students, alumni, and partners are just a few of what I know are the endless testimonies about the impact that you, my colleagues, are having on so many. For all of us in the room today, my colleagues Alex Bonanno and Eileen Lynch can receive, I'm looking over to the right because they're here with us. They're seated here to receive your generous donation, should you choose to make it right now. Please raise your hand so everyone will know who you are in case they haven't put the name with the faces. They'll be here at future town hall meetings and a lot of meetings that I think are occurring across the campus to make it easy and seamless for you to be able to support this important campaign. While I am the person standing before you right now sharing about the launch of this campaign, behind the scenes, Mike Byrne, Alex Bonanno, Robert Presser, Christopher Fontanez, Jen Christopher, and Zuani Chicas in particular are making sure that the smart sheets we use work, that our online giving platform is current and can receive your gifts, that your payroll deductions are processed accordingly, that your gifts are acknowledged, and that our record keeping denoting the important gifts that you're making are accurate. So I want to thank all of them for all of the work that goes into launching a campaign like this. The campaign ends on Thanksgiving Day, which I really think is appropriate, and we are striving, as Chris said, toward 100% participation. But please don't wait until then. The donation forms are in the chat right now. Thank you, Willie, for easy access. And after today's town hall, you'll receive a communication from me with all of the attachments that are necessary and hopefully helpful for you to make and consider what sort of gift you'd like to give. And I echo Chris's sentiments in that the amount is not important. It's your participation. And I thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Nicole. And, you know, I really want to do a plug for payroll deduction. I mean, any form of gift is appreciated. The beautiful thing about payroll deduction is it just, you don't have to think about it. It's always each payroll making an impact. And it's also easy record keeping for you. So at the end of the year, you know exactly how much you've contributed and can include that in your tax returns or in any other way. And the amounts accumulate over time. And of course, you can always, if you do a payroll deduction, as I'm doing to fund the scholarship I've created, you can change it at any time. If you want to stop it, if you want to reduce it, if you want to increase it, you're in control. But we welcome all forms of giving, and thank you for your support that so many are already providing. I'm pleased to share that, and as of now, our fall credit enrollment is up by approximately 4%, with new student enrollment up by nearly 11%, and non-credit enrollment continues to grow significantly. And as we talk about enrollment and our changing best practice institution, we really have to think of it in non-traditional ways. I mean, in the four-year sector, and traditionally, we always talk about what's the fall credit head count, okay? And that's exceedingly important. That's a core part of our mission. But we serve now across a year approximately 10,000 unduplicated, that's 10,000 individual students taking credit programs. But guess how many non-credit students we serve taking, in some cases, high-level certificate training that is already nested into our associate degree pathways, industry-recognized credential training, and other forms of training. 10,000 non-credit students. Does that surprise anybody? I'm just curious. Does that surprise anyone? You might have heard this before. So we truly serve 20,000 plus individual students every year, and non-credit and credit are both important to our mission. And this institution has gained some national recognition, and well-deserved, and I'm looking at Lori Margolin because she's played a major role in this along with her team, in aligning credit with non-credit. These don't compete with each other. These are integrated and mutually supportive in serving our mission. So for those who want short-term credential training, that it's going to lead to upward career mobility, they can do that, but at the same time, that gets nested in academic credit if they want to now or later go on and pursue an associate degree or beyond. So they're mutually supportive. And our non-credit enrollment has grown dramatically, in fact, significantly throughout the pandemic. So all of that in tandem is continuing to help the institution not only be stable financially, but actually we're in a pretty good position. We're seeing some overall small amount of net revenue, so we're not using reserve to serve our mission, and we're very financially, I think, responsible, good stewards of all the funds that we use in support of our mission, and there's a lot to be thankful for there. This is the mission-centric work of this institution. So as I always say, enrollment is the outcome of everyone's contributions. So I want to say congratulations and many thanks, HCCC family. I want to do a particular shout out to Dean of Enrollment Services, Matt Fessler, and his exceptional team, and members of the Enrollment Management Council, Dr. Gretchen Schultes and John Argola, who co-lead our Hudson Scholars Program that's become the centerpiece of, I think, our whole future. Dr. Heather DeVries and all the members of the HCCC Student Success Dream Team, and so many others who are contributing to our continuous improvement of student retention and completion. You know, our institution, I think, is very rightly not just focused on who's coming through the front door and what's the current population and trend line of high school graduates. That's all important. That's only one piece, right? We're also focused on keeping our students enrolled and getting them to completion in spite of the significant life challenges and barriers they're having to navigate. And that is just as important. In fact, I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think that's even more important than the traditional recruitment piece. They're both important. But when we bring students here, we want them to succeed and finish. We don't want to have a revolving door and always be just looking at who else can we bring in to keep the enrollment up, right? This is about serving our students well. So both recruitment and retention play a huge role, and I do then want to also thank continuing education and workforce development leaders, Lori Margolin, Chastity Farrell, Anita Bell, Katharina Mirasol, and their team members for the exceptional continuing growth of CEWD programs and enrollment. So thank you, and lots of other colleagues. Thank you, dedicated colleagues. A round of applause, please. Throughout this year, we look forward to college-wide engagement in our strategic planning, as this is the third and final year, hard to believe. This is the final year of our 2021-24 Hudson is Home strategic plan. Led by Associate Vice President for Academic Affairs and Assessment, Dr. Heather DeVries, the planning process this year will include several plans that will then become the foundation for the college-wide plan. There will be a new academic plan, a new student success action plan, and a DEI action plan and strategic plan. So both DEI and student success, ATD Dream Team, all the student success work, plus the academic plan will sort of be the pillars and cornerstone of the new college-wide strategic plan. So we did this right 3 years ago. Heather played a major role, but everybody did. We got the whole college community involved in talking about our priorities and imagining what we wanted to accomplish, and ultimately focusing on the things that are going to most serve our mission with the greatest possible impact, and then our goals were all measurable, and so we are able to measure and are measuring the success we've had. And I'm pleased to tell you, some of those goals have been exceeded already 1 year before the end of the plan. So we want to do it that way again. It needs everybody's involvement and engagement. So we'll be doing this not the easy way. Some institutions get to this point and they appoint one person to go in a back room and sort of cobble together narrative and shoot out a plan that then never gets looked at again. We want this to be the plan that is owned by everybody, and we want everybody's best thinking. That's what we cherish in everything that we do. So I think it's an exciting venture, although it is going to take a lot of time and effort. As part of this planning, PACTA, and you'll hear probably more about this in a few moments, will be again administering a college-wide climate survey. You may remember, those of you that were here, just prior to the pandemic, if I remember correctly, We administered a climate survey that we were able to use that was developed by Insight into Diversity, the magazine. And we administered that. I think we had almost 900 faculty, staff, students, and trustees complete it. And then we shared all of the results without any edits with everyone, and then held meetings, roundtable meetings, where we got into small groups, talked about how to distill this information into objectives and goals that are measurable. And out of that came 4 overarching DEI goals that since then our PAC Day group has had, I'll call them, well, subcommittees, I think. Subcommittees. There's been a subcommittee that works around each plan and reports out at all of the PAC Day meetings. Sometimes we report on that here. So that climate survey is going to happen again, I think sometime around November. And we'll be encouraging everybody to complete it. And then once again, we'll be talking about it and what it means and having it inform how we shape the future. And I want to also just comment, I'm off script today, which is not a good thing sometimes. This shapes our budget. I want to affirm that our budget is largely organized around the priorities we identify and are working on as a community. And I think since the last planning, we have gotten more, maybe a little more focused and surgical even in trying to make sure that the budget, to the extent possible, is aligned appropriately around the overarching objectives. And so we want to continue all of that, I think, best practice approach to this. So with that said, I'd like to invite Vice President Uris Pujols and PAC Day Co-Chair Rafi Manjikian to offer a DEI update. Gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Dr. River. I just wanted to highlight that I am Uris. I'm the one with the blue jacket, and that's Rafi with a gray jacket, in case we're confusing us. But very briefly, I just wanted to say the students that are in the call or through WebEx, welcome back. It's really nice to see you. Earlier this morning when I got in the elevator, there was a student. He was running late for class, and you could say he's like very serious and jittery, and you say, hello, good morning, how are you? And you could see how his whole demeanor changed, So when you see students, say hello. Sometimes that makes a big difference of how the day goes and how everything progresses. So I just wanted to provide a little bit of a recap of some of what we've been doing over the summer. Most of you, if not all of you, attended the DEI summer retreat that we held late July. Reverend Al Sharpton was here. It was an incredible program, and I was initially very concerned, right? Because we had like about a month and a half to wrap it all up, and my initial plan is like, okay, let's delay it a little bit so we have more time to plan it. But then Reverend Sharpton confirmed the date. So when you have his confirmation, he's like, okay, you have to make it happen. But it wasn't my retreat. It wasn't a retreat from my office. It was a retreat that belonged to all of us, because so many of you from PAC Day, non-PAC Day members participated, and they were able to bring it together, bringing in speakers and helping us organize the content that was presented. Just earlier this week on Monday, and Chris mentioned this, we had a 9/11 memorial. And that program is the second that we conduct. And I'm trying to ensure that those type of programs, when we have them, again, they're not my programs or my programs from my office, but something that speaks for the whole college. And I'll be remiss if I do not recognize Michelle Vitale for not only providing the welcome, but ensuring that the gallery looked beautiful. Like, she was able to get the names of the names of those who lost their lives, who lived in Hudson County. There were 155 names pasted throughout the gallery, and people were able to pay their respects. There was an area that, the names were there, and everyone was able to come up with a flower, put in a beautiful container that she put there. I also want to recognize Dr. Christopher Conson. He very well led the panel discussion. And of course, our panelists, Jack Quigley, Executive Director of Public Safety and Security, Professor Kathy Seidman, Professor of Criminal Justice, and Dr. Benedetto Youssef, Professor of English. They provided their experiences. And Jack Quigley, when he's there, he said, "This is the first time that I'm speaking about this publicly. I never felt that I was ready." And I just wanted to say thank you for sharing. There were some others that we approached and that had very compelling stories, but it's like, I'm not ready. They were not ready to share that, and that's okay. But we worked together. There were like close to 150 people maybe in that room, and we were there for each other, as we were there for each other 22 years ago. And of course, I wanted to recognize Professor Cody. He did like a historical relevance of the event, and I think it was important to provide a broader context, that speaks to community education and the takeaway. Student Fatima Rabid, she's a Student Government Association representative for the Academic Senate, and she introduced our speaker. She did a fabulous job, and again, that's the second time that we hold that program. But it's something that we anticipate and we plan to do every year because it's very important that we do that. Some of the programs that you see that are coming down the pipes, we're working with Charles Maynard. He's the president of the NAACP of the Jersey City chapter. We're planning a male initiative program that we're going to be inviting 7th graders, 8th graders, 9th graders, high school students, people that graduated from high school that didn't come to college, to come to the college, to meet our students, to meet some of the community members that are, pushing and promoting education, to make sure that we're continue being a gateway for that. So more to come on that. We're looking at November potentially as the time that we'll do that. Also, Title IX. You're gonna be seeing some flyers coming with the specific dates. We want to make sure that we continue to provide Title IX training, gender equity training. Again, we're gonna base it on case studies, and also we want to focus on the preemptive, like what can we learn, what can we do to make sure that we're able to provide or avoid the creation of a hostile environment or a situation that we should otherwise try to avoid. One of the eCornell program that many of you in this room took. I'm happy to share that about 170 members of the college have completed. We still have like about 24 of them in the pipelines that will probably complete it before the year ends. And now we're turning it, right? Now we have developed our own internal program. Natalia Vasquez from the DI office and lecturer Richard Walker have worked on developing this program that we're going to be rolling out this semester. For our members, of the community to continue to do that. Because we want to make sure that it's ongoing to DEI concepts, are still embedded in everything we do. The student passport program that Veronica Gerosimo and her team were working on has been fully absorbed by her office. So that's also going to be ongoing. And we're going to be closing out the grant. We're probably going to have some type of a program later on this semester. But all of those programs that I mentioned here have a sustainability component. They're all going to be here after the grant runs out. I'm also happy to share that this is going to be the first year that we're going to be observing the 2 holidays that we added to the calendar, Eid and Diwali. The college will be closed on those days. No classes will not be in session, and administrative offices will be closed. But if you observe any other holiday that is not, it's not any of those 2 holidays, or it's not in the list, we have a very flexible religious accommodations process. I encourage you to take a look at it. Some of you have reached out, and we've been able to provide an accommodations plan. We want to ensure that we support you as you are, as your goals and whatnot. And something that Chris mentioned, the climate survey, is really important for us to track our journey, like what comes next, right? Identifying our goals, and ultimately that will be pillars of the strategic plan for the college. We are looking at November 1st as the time that we will launch the survey. Probably going to have it open for about 3 weeks. So by the 21st, 22nd, we'll be closing it. But more information to come on that. And, as Chris mentioned, we had, 100, 900 people participate last time. We're hoping to get a greater number this time. With that, I'm going to pass it to you. No, Rafi. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Yuris. Hello, everyone. Hope the semester is going well. As he mentioned, I'm in the gray suit. He's in the blue suit. For me, 2 days in a row in a suit. Everyone knows I like the polo shirt look. So, 2 days in a row. Thank you again for allowing School of STEM and my colleagues to present last night at the board meeting. Today, I'll be talking a little bit more about the DEI. So as you can see, I'm currently the only co-chair here. Natalia has decided to step down as co-chair. She's going to still work behind the scenes, work with yours in DEI office, but we're going to be soon looking for a new co-chair. I just want to thank Natalia for her service and recognize her for everything that she has done. I always say that DEI is a journey. You learn from one another, a very collaborative experience. And, hopefully she learned from me a little bit. I definitely learned from Natalia. I definitely learned a lot from her. So I appreciated working with her. Whoever's next, I guess I can pass on the knowledge to whoever comes next. So we're going to look soon, hopefully, because, semester has started. I'm teaching courses, so I need some help. So, yeah, soon, hopefully, new co-chair will be here. 9/11 Memorial happened, and I'm sure you heard already about it. We have the ALICE training happening soon. That is going to take place Thursday, September 21st, and Friday, September 22nd in the STEM building from 12 to 5. So each day is from 12 to 5. You don't have to go to both days, just one. We have about 35 for each day so far, I think, right? Yeah, 35. So we hopefully can get 15 more participants for each day. I'll be attending on Friday. So I will be there on 12 to 5, September 22nd, in case anybody, if that entices you to go on the Friday. I will be there on the Friday. As mentioned, we have a climate survey, and hopefully, as yours said, it will come out in November. And our action plan is also ending at the end of spring 2024. So the results of the climate survey will be used to help create our new action plan moving forward. And the last thing is the subcommittee reports. Most of the subcommittees have not met yet because, we just started the fall semester. However, 2 have. Subcommittee 1 is working on the food diversity survey that has been sent out. There has been so far 170, I believe, response. 170? Yeah, so around 170 responses. So if you haven't completed already, please do. I think our goal is to get 200, so we're almost there. So hopefully, if you haven't done it, please do. That's been Subcommittee 1. And Subcommittee 2 worked with the HR office to get a new employee portal system. So now we have a new system where the jobs are posted. And the first 2 test jobs were the 2 jobs from the HR office. So it's a really nice system, and it's really easy and convenient to use. And I saw it, and I spoke with VP Anna. It's a very nice system. So that will be the system moving forward used for posting jobs and applying for jobs, and other features that I am unaware of that VP Anna knows the answers to. But yeah, Subcommittee 3 and 4 have not met yet, but Subcommittee 3 is leading the ALICE training, and Subcommittee 4 will soon meet to discuss, continuous ways to improve diversity in the classroom. Right? So hopefully the next time Yuris and I are here, we can have a new co-chair with me, and we can both participate in the discussion. But I thank you all, and thank you, Dr. Reber, as always, for allowing us to present. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. And don't they both look dapper in their outfits? And I'm noticing a trend. Rafi dresses up for board meetings and town hall meetings. It looks very good. So this is National Hispanic Serving Institutions Week, and we have a lot to celebrate. I'm delighted to share that URIS has been invited to participate in the year-long La Academia de Liderazgo, Executive Leadership Program of the Hispanic Association of Colleges and Universities, or HACU. His picture is there prominently with all the other participants that was just announced by HACU. This certainly promises to be a wonderful opportunity for URIS to engage in best practices for senior leaders and to network with other colleagues across the United States. And we celebrate Associate Registrar Irma Williams' acceptance into HACU's Enlace leadership program for mid-level staff. This is a 6-month program that will include several national on-ground professional development meetings addressing topics such as academic and student affairs management, regional institutional accreditation, diversity, equity, and inclusion, higher education advocacy, and others. And I'm pleased to share that IRMA is one of the few HAKU member institution participants who were invited to participate to receive a $4,000 Capital One scholarship that will cover all of her program fees, including registration materials and selected meals. So congratulations, Irma. Congratulations, Eurus. You make us all proud. And we congratulate Amala Ogburn, who has been, I think this is fairly hot off the press. She's been selected to participate in the 19th Annual National Council on Black American Affairs Leadership Development Institute that will be hosted by Metropolitan Community College in Kansas City, Missouri during the week of October 15th to October 21st. So congratulations and kudos, Amala. Hope she's there. We also want to thank and congratulate Eurus. You're not going to be able to leave this room today. Your head's going to be. He served recently as one of 3 invited speakers on a 90-minute NJ Biz panel presentation on diversity, equity, and inclusion. And not surprisingly, Eurus's participation was stellar and represented HCCC exceedingly well. So thank you, Eurus. A strong contingent of 18 Hudson County Community College students, faculty, staff, and friends will attend the Hispanic Association of Colleges and Universities, or HAKU conference in Chicago in late October. This is their annual national conference that about 2,000 students, faculty, staff, and others attend. And in addition to the kickoff of Eurus's and Irma's involvement in their national HAKU leadership programs, eight HCCC students will participate in HAKU's Adelante Leadership Institute for Student Leaders of HAKU member institutions. So this will be a track across the HAKU conference in Chicago where our students, I can tell you what I've learned about HAKU. This is an organization that does things exceedingly well. Everything is well planned and is really just top notch in terms of quality. So these students are going to have a really quality experience working and interacting with and networking with other students from HSIs and emerging HSIs across a lot of different leadership topics while we're all in Chicago at HAKU. And also at the conference, North Hudson Campus Executive Director Joe Caniglia and Assistant Director Diana Galvez and several HCCC students will offer a presentation on empowering high school students to be college ready. And in addition, Eurus, Matt Fessler, and Wendy Martinez will present community partnerships embracing the Latino community, and they'll be talking about our Latino Advisory Council and other activities. And I'm really proud this is a point of pride for all of us. At this conference, HCCC will be honored with HAKU's Outstanding Institutional Member Award, Outstanding HSI Award given to one college annually in recognition of their excellence in leading and supporting Hispanic students, faculty, staff, and communities. So we are receiving that award out of the 600 or 700 HSIs and emerging HSIs that are involved in HAKU. So congratulations to this institution. That's external affirmation of some really important work being done to serve our students. And I'm also honored to have been invited to serve a 3-year term on HAKU's Commission on International Education. I'm wondering if that means I'll get to go to one of their international meetings, which they hold in Mexico and Spain and elsewhere. On Monday, I was honored to attend a roundtable meeting with United States Secretary of Commerce and former Governor of Rhode Island, Gina Raimondo, in Washington, D.C. And guess who invited me? Hispanic Association of College and Universities President, Dr. Antonio Flores. He was the host of this meeting. I was one of 2 HSI community college presidents and 4 4-year college presidents to meet with Secretary Raimondo and her staff. I was delighted to have the opportunity to speak about the work we're doing in our School of STEM and our School of Continuing Education and Workforce Development, including our programs and future goals for leading and supporting workforce education and training in the semiconductor and broadband industries and beyond. These are priorities of the Department of Commerce. Secretary Raimondo plans to continue meeting with our 6 HSI presidents and several industry leaders, so we'll have additional opportunities to advocate federal investment in support of our programs and the potential creation of semiconductor manufacturing workforce development centers at Hudson and throughout the nation. So we're advocating line item federal investment in HSIs going forward. And just the Department of Commerce alone, Secretary Raimondo has $168 billion of federal funds that are not earmarked, and that she has the flexibility to invest in her priorities, which, based on the interaction we had with her, her priorities are our priorities. I was very, very impressed with her leadership. I also had an opportunity to participate in another meeting last February, although this was with 30 college presidents, but we met with Secretary of Homeland Security Mayorkas. His focus is cybersecurity, and I think that we may yet see some additional opportunities to support our already, I think, best practice growing Center of Excellence in cybersecurity. So I want to take this opportunity to thank Dean of STEM, Dr. Burl Yearwood, Associate Vice President for Continuing Education and Workforce Development, Lori Margolin, and Vice President Nicholas Chevrolotti for helping me prepare my remarks on Monday that included reference to excellent programs and initiatives at HCCC. And we're also looking forward to the upcoming Association of Community College Trustees, or ACCT, Leadership Congress in Las Vegas. I didn't pick the location, that's where it is. That's going to be held in early October, where we're proud that Trustee Bakari Lee will be honored with the ACCT Northeast Regional Trustee Leadership Award. And as the recipient of this award, Trustee Lee is one of 5 regional honorees to be considered for the M. Dale Ensign Trustee Leadership Award. This is the single national award that recognizes an outstanding trustee. And just as an aside, you know, we've been pleased over the last few years to have recognition in this annual process of awards and recognition. So several years ago, Trustee Netchert was the recipient of the Outstanding Trustee Award for the Northeastern region of the United States. And then the college was a finalist for the Northeast region in their Advancing Diversity Award of Excellence. Yours truly was one of the 5 regional honorees for CEO. None of us advanced to the national award, which doesn't matter because everybody's deserving of that. I am betting this year that Trustee Lee is going to win the national award. He played a leadership role that led to his chairing the ACCT Board of Directors a number of years ago, not too long ago, and is highly respected nationally. So we'll have a contingent of 10 faculty, staff, and students and trustees at the conference, and we will be rooting for Bakari. And then also during the conference, Dean of STEM, Dr. Burl Yearwood, Dean of Humanities and Social Sciences, Dr. Allison Wakefield, Vice President Uris Pujols, and Trustee Pamela Gardner will present a workshop entitled Internal Development of Community College Leadership, Expanding Diversity and Enhancing Academia Through a Commitment to DEI and Professional Development, which I think will be great. I've also been invited, and I'm looking forward to this, to participate on a panel of the 3 2023 Bellwether Award-winning college presidents. We'll each discuss our program that won the Bellwether Award in each of 3 categories, so I'll have an opportunity to talk about Hudson Scholars, which I'm always happy to do. As we start the new academic year and the 3rd year of Hudson Scholars, we're deeply engaged college-wide in scaling Hudson Scholars and its 4 pillars of excellence to all HCCC students taking 6 or 9 academic credits. We're currently considering which threshold to use as our model going forward, and we've done both, I think, over the last couple of years, 6 or 9. What we now call Hudson Scholars will eventually become the model for supporting nearly all HCCC students, and I'm hoping virtually all students eventually. So once we are able to scale this to all students at the 6 or 9 credit level, we then envision focusing on how to apply lessons learned to supporting part-time students taking less than 6 or 9 credits. They have particular needs, but there certainly are, the pillars can support them as well. And then we're also considering how to expand our 4 Hudson Scholars pillars to returning adults and to fully online students, and how the 4 Hudson Scholars pillars can be applied to specialty programs here that currently aren't part of the Hudson Scholars Program, namely nursing, ESL, and culinary arts. And so what are these four Hudson Scholars pillars? First, personal and intensive academic advising, coaching and mentoring with coaches, advisors that have a low caseload, relatively low caseload of students, so they can know students on a very sort of personal and immediate level. Financial stipends that are awarded to students for their successful achievement of specific monthly milestones that are established between the student and the advisor. High impact educational experiences such as undergraduate research, internships, field trips, student leadership, and many others, and systemic use of an early alert system to inform advisors, mentors, and coaches of concerns and of student accomplishments as soon as they surface. We've just launched the further scale up of the Hudson Scholars Program through our innovative Hudson Scholars Faculty Mentor Initiative. And I apologize because I know I've spoken about this elsewhere, so for some of you this isn't new, but I think it's important our whole college community is aware of this, and we always want everyone's feedback. I want to take this opportunity to thank and celebrate 14 pioneering full-time faculty for stepping up to coach and mentor third-year Hudson Scholars this year. This is the next step in our scale-up. Our new faculty mentors are Robin Anderson, Jonathan Cabrera, Sharon Daughtry, Dr. Nadia Headley, Gabriel Holder, Dr. Jerry Lamb, Craig McLaughlin, Rafi Manjikian, Dr. Jahan Nakla, Dr. Rafaela Pernice, Josue Perez, Laura Samuelson, Jeremiah Typin, and Alana Winslow. Thank you, faculty pioneers. These faculty will be, goes beyond the traditional faculty advising model. Like our Hudson Scholars counselors, they're going to be working with third-year Hudson Scholars students that have already been successful in their first 2 years here, and most of whom are likely to graduate this year. They'll be trying to apply the same principles that are part of the secret sauce to advising these students, as many of them then prepare to transfer to four-year colleges where their model is going to be academic advisors, faculty advisors, and it will help transition them to working with faculty in addition to full-time non-faculty advisors. And I want to take this opportunity to thank Michael Furlease and the officers of the Professional Association, Dr. Lisa Doherty, Dr. Gretchen Schultes, John Argola, Dr. Darrell Jones, Dr. Bernadette So, John Scanlon, and our Hudson Scholars counselors and all others involved in this Faculty Mentors project. And this segues well into our Dream Team and other student success work. So it's now my pleasure to invite Dream Team Chair, Dr. Heather DeVries, to offer an update on the continuing comprehensive work of the ATD Dream Team and implementation teams. Heather, thank you.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Good to see you. Our Student Success Action Plan that we developed in 2020 and launched in 2020 will also be winding down this coming year. So that will play into kind of our year of college-wide strategic planning and ensuring these other plans, the DEI action plan that Yoris and Rafi spoke about, another academic master plan, our student success action plan, all work towards and supporting our college-wide and informing our college-wide strategic plan. So throughout this year, the implementation teams, some were active over the summer, some were not. Some of us have some homework to catch up on before Mary and Renee are here in a few weeks. We're active, again, some were on pause during the summer, but I hope to have an update on the ongoing work of our implementation teams at our next town hall, especially as we work this year to kind of wind down our work, close out our work, think about what our next iteration of the Student Success Action Plan looks like. Yoris and Rafi mentioned the climate survey, doing another climate survey to inform the development of the DEI Action Plan. In 2019, some of you may remember being shoulder to shoulder in the STEM multipurpose room for our Capacity Cafe, reflecting on the results of the ICAT, the Institutional Capacity Assessment Tool, that's Achieving the Dreams tool for initiating kind of the development of the action plan and a conversation around initiatives that may form the Student Success Action Plan. My hunch is we will not be using that tool again. So we'll also have to have a conversation in the coming months around what tool would be appropriate for where we are in our student success work and how it informs the development of our student success action plan. So stay tuned for more information there, as well as what our implementation teams are up to. Otherwise, a College Service Day, and I believe a convocation as well. You received your Leader College pin. If you need another one, please reach out to Academic Affairs. We have plenty more. And that's wonderful to see. I'm so glad we were able to get those distributed. Wear them proudly, and I hope we will have another pin to distribute next year at College Service Day. The Dream Team is in the process of working on the Leader College of Distinction application, which is the next level of award for the Achieving the Dream Network, as well as the Liam Meyer Austin Award. Leader College of Distinction is very similar to Leader College status, where it's a status awarded if you meet certain metrics and kind of present a compelling narrative of your student success work. Liam Meyer Austin is a competitive award in the sense that it is only awarded to 1 or 2 colleges annually. And it's awarded based on really evidence of institutional transformation, especially as it pertains to closing equity gaps. So the Dream Team is hard at work on both of those applications. I thank John Scanlon for being my partner in leading the work on these applications, as there is a robust data component. For both, I think it's kind of one data template for both awards, which is good, that we need to show progress, a certain benchmark of progress across certain student success metrics, as well as within those metrics, a narrowing of equity gaps. So when we have more information there after crunching some numbers, we will share. And then for the Liam Meyer Austin Award, we also have to complete a supplemental piece, an evidence of institutional transformation, that we can only have 10 pages. They wisely set a limit. Otherwise, I could easily submit our strategic plan, Chris's annual report to the board, and any number of other documents that are really just impressive in their scale and scope. But we are limited to 10 pages, and it does give some criteria. The Dream Team did some brainstorming at its last meeting, knowing that not everything is going to be able to make the final document. But it asks us to talk about ways in which we can demonstrate the impact of our student success work and that being an ATD member college has really had on the institution. So we'll be highlighting policies and practices, we'll be highlighting professional development, we'll be highlighting many of the awards, national and regional. We've received stakeholder participation, community engagement. So many of you will be receiving an email with a request for additional information, perhaps a paragraph. Does this look right? Can you edit it? Can you fill in the blank with numbers? So thank you in advance for your support there. And I think we have a really competitive application to submit. Finally, the Dream Team is working on Mary and Renee's visit. Mary and Renee will be back with us October 5th and 6th, and we are taking a more holistic approach to their visits this year. Last year, we had 2 of their 4 visits focused solely on pre-nursing and nursing. This time, pre-nursing and nursing, as well as other topics, will be integrated throughout their visits. Thank you to everyone who has answered emails, inquiries. Does this time of day work for you? Emails from me in the past few days. I'm very appreciative. And calendar invites will be coming out later this week. But broadly, they will start their morning with the pre-nursing implementation team and then move into a session with our nursing leadership. They'll also meet with our finance partners for the Pay It Forward program, the program that Governor Murphy visited the college to announce in August 2022, to learn more about that program and how it's supporting our nursing students. They will meet with our early college team and some of the deans, I believe. They'll meet with the onboarding think tank, the Hudson Scholars, and I believe we're going to try to invite the faculty mentors to attend as they are able. ESL and our Title V grant will close out that day. And then on Friday, they're here with us for the morning. We'll focus on culture of care and the culture of care implementation team, plus a slightly larger group in the morning. And then the Racial Equity Leadership Academy group will kind of close out their visit before they have their debrief. And really the structure of their May 9th letter following their visit in April will really inform the structure of this moving forward, and will hopefully move into informing future visits as well as the development of our action plan. Those are all the updates I have for you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. DeVries. That's just exceptional work and exceptional leadership. Thank you. Tomorrow, the Hudson County Community College Board of School Estimate will meet to approve and send a resolution to the Hudson County Commissioners that will launch county approval of a bond ordinance for up to $32 million for our HCCC project. This represents a major milestone and turning point in our tower project and will likely lead to the start of construction next spring. And as you're all aware, Vice President for External Affairs and Senior Counsel to the President, Dr. Nicholas Chevrolotti, has led our multi-year tower planning process with dedication and skill in collaboration with Vice President for Business and Operations, Veronica Zeichner, and her team. I'd now like to invite Nicholas to provide an update on the tower project, wayfinding project, transportation, and parking, and anything else. Thank you.
Really go. Got slides? That's okay, I don't need them. I was just going to do it for the audience. So let me just say this is a very significant week for the life of this project. Yesterday, Veronica and I sat through a Hudson County Board of Commissioners meeting where they introduced a bond ordinance to fund the project. We were very excited after several months of discussions and negotiations. The ordinance was introduced as a whole with no public comment. We had basically satisfied all their questions. As Chris mentioned, on Thursday, the Board of School Estimate will move forward with approving the project. And that really begins the next phase of this. We are still waiting for the Office of the State Comptroller to approve what's called a form of bid. Jeff Roberson has been taking the lead on that effort. Jeff, don't roll your eyes, I text him every morning, and we hope that by next week we would sort of have that final language. And our goal is to go out to bid the first week of October. We'll have a 90-day bid process, which will bring us to the end of the year. What we anticipate happening is that the parties, the developers interested in constructing the project will then request additional weeks because of the holidays. Our goal is to award this contract next February or March and break ground no later than next May. This becomes an important date for us as an institution. It's a 26-month build-out. So if we start the project in May, we'll be able to complete it by July 2026, which will then give us 2 to 3 months to move into the building so that it's open in the fall, September of 2026, which is our new deadline. It's been an arduous process. I appreciate all the input from the community, but we are really seeing some light at the end of this tunnel. I do want to just quickly remind people what we're talking about. The tower, we keep giving these updates. The tower is an 11-story, 153,000 square foot building. On the first floor, it will include all of student services in one location to better serve our students. It will include offices for veteran affairs. It will include offices for early college. On the second and third floor, we have a wellness center and an NCAA quality gym. You can go to slide 3. See, I told you I sent it. There's our beautiful building, which at some point will win an award. Next slide. So the gym is important really for our health sciences, but it also ties directly to the internal discussion and external discussion we've been having with bringing back athletics. The fourth and fifth floor of the Black Box Theater and the Commons, as well as the terrace on the outside. The Black Box Theater is key to that program, as well as it'll sit about 100 people. The classrooms will have 24 new state-of-the-art classrooms, all installed with ITV. And then we have all our other functions. Basically, at the end of this process, we will vacate 70 SIP, 162 SIP Avenue, and relocate all those functions into this one building under one roof. I think this is a major milestone for the college. It also would conclude a 25-year process where, with the support of the county, the college built over 600,000 square feet of new space in Journal Square in North Hudson. So you can applaud on that line, because that's very exciting. Next slide. So Any questions on the tower, please feel free to grab me, email me, and we can talk about it. Next thing I want to talk about is our transportation, parking. This is a bit of a flyer that Chris sent out with his message earlier this month or beginning of this semester. This flyer was resent out this morning, so anyone who may have missed it a couple of weeks ago, Jen Christopher's office made sure she sent it out at 10 a.m., so it's all in everyone's inbox. And, we continue to tackle the issue of transportation at the college. The Room Street parking lot is now open. We are making some improvements on that lot. We currently have 25 parking spots. We're adding 3 to 5 additional spots after talking with the church about it. So we'll be up to, about 30 parking spots. I encourage people to try it, especially if it's a nice day, because we think that's part of our longer term solution. Also, last night, the Board of Trustees awarded a contract for the demolition and improvements at 119 Newkirk. That project will begin this semester. We will then go out to RFP/bid, depending on what the lawyers dictate which process we have to follow, to install stackers on that site. At the end of the day, we hope that 119 Newkirk will create over 100 parking spots for the campus community. And that will go a long way, and that will be up and running before we break ground on the tower. So losing the Enos parking lot will not have a negative impact on the overall parking spots available. Do not have an update on Lowe's. They're trying to figure out their own financing. Harrison remains open and available. Encourage people to continue to take a look at that if that's an option, depending on where you live. I also just want to mention when it comes to parking, in Chris's memo, he referred to the survey that John Scanlon coordinated. That's available online. One of the concerns that we hear most frequently after this presentation is about security. Jack Quigley and his team can provide escorts. In fact, if you walked into this building today or as you walk out, you'll see that Veronica and Jack and the team have put up signs in the entrance of every building, which the number to call. So I would encourage you to take a photo of it so that you have it just in case. But really, they're there and they've committed to be as helpful as possible. You can go to the next slide. Last project I want to talk about just very quickly is wayfinding. This is another project that's taken a couple of twists and turns, but we have awarded the contract over the summer, either June or August. This project is ready to begin. The contractor is supposed to propose a schedule this week. I haven't seen it yet. This is really about material. If you look at the design, the first phase is in Culinary Park. It includes a LED sign over the entrance to Culinary Park with community college messaging. And on the building, it includes the vertical sign with HCCC, that's also an LED, as well as new signage on the building. Go to the next slide. And this, probably easier online than in the room, shows the new signage that will appear on the building. This will be uniform throughout campus. This is phase 1. It's a 3-phase program. Phase 2 will move up to the Student Center and Gabriel Library. Phase 3 will be the tower, STEM, et cetera. Phase 3 will also include North Hudson. So we will have consistent signage so that we're easy to find. And the LED signs will be bright enough that there'll be no excuses not to see us, especially at night. With that, if there are any questions, you guys know where I am. Thank you very much.
So much for your strong leadership and perseverance, Dr. Chevrolotti. Let me note that the Broome Street lot is lit. That was a question that came to us. And also, is Jack here? Jack's here, right? I'm sorry? He's here? Yeah. Oh, he ran out. Well, we're seeing gradual increases in the number of folks who've requested parking permits for the Harrison garage. I think we were in the 30s now and growing. Try that out if you haven't and you live in the west part of the county. It's a one-stop ride, about 10 minutes to Journal Square. Last week, I was invited to join the National Business and Higher Education Forum, or BHEF. This is a unique national alliance of corporate and university executive leaders that seeks to build pathways to help employers anticipate and fill high-demand roles in emerging fields. I'm the first community college president to have been invited to join it, although the president of Miami-Dade College, which offers baccalaureate degrees, is also a member. Chairing BHEF this year is Virginia Tech President Timothy Sands, and next year's chair will be Aleutian President and CEO Laura Ipson, whom we honored at last December's HCCC Gala. CEOs of approximately 40 corporate and higher education organizations are members, including, and this is just a sample, Amazon, American Council on Education, Boeing, Columbia University, IBM, S&P Global, Stanley Black & Decker, Virginia Tech, Howard University, Google, State Farm Insurance, University of Notre Dame, Georgetown, Ohio State, many others. I've been invited to advise and help plan the introduction of high-performing community colleges into BHEF membership. The backstory is I was invited to one of their meetings. They meet 3 times a year in different parts of the country for 2 days, and it's largely, there are presentations, largely unstructured conversation among the members, and it's CEOs only. I was invited to attend the meeting at Laura Ipson's invitation. It was held in Washington, D.C. last spring, and that's how I got introduced to this. I'll be attending their next meeting, which happens to be in Manhattan, on October 19th and 20th as a BHEF member president. This is an opportunity to network with national organizations that could eventually become partners and funders of HCCC. So we'll keep you posted on that, and I believe there will be opportunities for us to invite guests, both from the college and certainly from this part, the corporate sector of this area of New Jersey. And in fact, we've already invited to the October meeting the president of NJBIA and the president of Aspire Technologies. Moving to the North Hudson campus, it's buzzing with activity. And the new cafe will open there in several weeks. I cannot wait to try it. I don't know what it's going to be called. I know that's a work in progress. But at this point, it's my pleasure to invite North Hudson Campus Executive Director Joe Caniglia to offer an update on these and other North Hudson campus happenings. Joe.
So hello, everyone. Thank you, Chris. So the North Hudson campus has been very busy over the summer, planning events for the fall 2023 semester. I want to welcome all students, faculty, and staff to the North Hudson campus. I would like to share some important events taking place this semester. First, as Chris mentioned, the new cafe at the North Hudson campus is coming along with the soft opening planned soon. Once we have the soft opening sometime in October, shortly after that, we'll plan for a grand opening celebration. I'll speak to Dr. Jones about that, along with maybe a celebration opening the 7th floor terrace. So stay tuned for more information on that. We are seeking suggestions for naming the cafe. I have a student survey that's been posted and sent to all students. It closes this Friday, and then I will submit the names to Daryl. If you have any suggestions, I've received some names from some people, please send them to me. All suggestions are welcome. We want to make the name to be a creative and exciting name, so we're taking all suggestions. Thank you. On September 22nd, 2023, the North Hudson Faculty and Staff in Service will take place at Liberty State Park from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. The focus of this year's in-service is team building. There will be activities for participants and a day of networking. I want to thank Amala Ogburn for all her hard work in organizing this event. On October 11, 2023, the North Hudson campus will host a presentation for HCC students and employees on human sex trafficking, conducted by the Child Win organization. I have recently learned how huge a problem sex trafficking is, not only in the United States of America, but in the state of New Jersey. So I'm looking forward to this presentation. All are welcome to attend. Flyers have been sent out to everyone. So if you're available, please join us. Also, I've been working closely with Michelle Vitale on organizing the next art exhibit at the North Hudson campus. On October 24th, from 4 to 6, there will be a reception showing the artwork from Wes Sherman, a well-renowned artist in the state of New Jersey. In addition, we'll have a poetry reading from Frank May from 6 to 7. Please join us if you are free. As Chris mentioned, Diana Galvez and I, along with 4 students, will be presenting at the upcoming Haiku Conference in October. We are very excited. I also want to thank Jason. Jason Figueroa, the Associate Director of North Hudson, is not going to be able to attend the conference, but he has been helping Diana and I in putting our presentation together. So thank you, Jason. On November 13, 2023, the North Hudson campus will host its 2nd annual Aspiring Student Leadership Conference. Angela Tuzzo and I and my team have been working diligently on organizing this conference. The conference will focus on student leadership. It is geared towards HCCC students and high school students. The day will be filled with a keynote presentation and various workshops for students. Last year, the conference had 175 students in attendance. In addition to these events, there will be many more workshops and events taking place at the North Hudson campus this semester. Keep checking your emails for notification. And finally, thanks to my team, Aura Matias, Diana Galvez, Jason Figueroa, Amala Ergburn, and all of the faculty and staff at the North Hudson campus for continuing to make the North Hudson campus a place where students can have a positive college experience. Thank you.
Both on ground and virtual is up significantly in North Hudson, which we appreciate. Thanks to all who work and serve the North Hudson campus. Joe's Bistro, no, or Caniglia Cafe, no. We want to thank Dr. Heather DeVries and Lori Margolin for their continued leadership of the HCCC Incarcerated and Reentry Training Task Force. Our engagement and service of incarcerated, reentry, and court-involved citizens continues to grow and develop. It's now my pleasure to invite Heather and Lori to offer an update on this important work. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm excited to share that we're in our 3rd year of the Academic Workforce Pathways Program, and it is now bigger and better than ever. So for the fall semester, we have 45 students enrolled, 29 in the degree program and 16 in the workforce program. We have strengthened the connection for students with our supportive services and provided workshops on transfer pathways as well mental health and wellness services. In addition, we added a Microsoft Office industry recognized certification program to the workforce catalog, as well as a DEI student passport program and a financial counseling passport program. The DEI program will have an in-person component, and the financial counseling program will have employer participation. So we're really excited about these next steps that we were able to take in this program. This fall, the degree students are enrolled in English 112 and CSC 100. And I'd like to thank the instructors for this semester, Alicia Vassarel, Tamika Moore-Stute, Juan Rodriguez, John Krupp, Mr. Balaji, Amala Ogburn, Veronica Gerasimo, and I'd also like to thank Nakia Santos, Angela Tuzzo, and Hansa Salim for teaching CSS this summer at the jail. And of course, the support of Dr. Wakefield, Dr. Yearwood, and Dean Pam in all of these efforts, and my staff, Anita Bell, Fabiola Ocean, and Karina Arango. Let's give them a round of applause. give their all of those people I mentioned and more every day to this program and are very invested in these students' success. We've also expanded our relationship with the Hudson County Department of Housing and Community Reintegration to provide training to individuals who are receiving welfare benefits, some of whom are justice involved. That's the update on Academic Workforce Pathways Program. In terms of New Jersey Reentry Corp., the Summer Training Institute, serving over 180 youth, is in full swing. HCCC is offering phlebotomy training, which began in late June and will end in late September. And then there will be an externship at a lab after that. So it's a great model, and the class is going well. And we also offer 2 rounds of computer basics as part of this Summer Training Institute, which is part of the New Jersey Pathways Initiative. I'd like to thank Henry Gomez, our phlebotomy instructor, and Luis Aguayo, who is our computer basics instructor, Dean Sarangelo, who lent us the lab in the G building, and my staff, Anita Bell, Marianne Betancourt, and Samaya Yashiyeva, as well as NJRC, Governor McGreevy, Mike Hayek, Lacey Ann Francis, for their partnership throughout this initiative. It's really a transformational what's going on there. And before I move off and Heather updates you, I do want to give a little PSA. We're looking for a welding instructor. Our wonderful instructor moved out of the area. This is something that needs to be done in person. So if you know of someone with this skill, or you know of somebody who knows somebody with this skill, please let me know. Anita, Marianne, we'd be happy to take the information. Thank you. Heather?
Thank you, Lori. One further update on our engagement with NJRC. We are looking forward to launching our 3rd culinary hot food proficiency certificate cohort in January. And we will be holding a FAFSA and college application completion day at NJRC in late October. Thank you so much to Marion Betancourt, our partners at NJRC, and Matt Fessler and his team, and Sylvia Mendoza and her team, who really do the heavy lifting that day and are just so wonderful with assisting the students, sitting side by side, helping them work through this paperwork. So we look forward to getting that up and running, and thank you to Dr. Karakashian as well, and his team for their continued engagement. Otherwise, my other update is that over the summer, Lori and I received and reviewed 2 proposals for professional development for teaching justice-involved students, for those faculty working with our incarcerated and reentry students. And we identified one to move forward with. The presenter is Jeff Abramowitz. He is currently the CEO of the PD Green program, which provides high-quality academic support and tutoring to justice-involved individuals. He is also recognized as a subject matter expert in this area by the Department of Education, and is just very, very impressive and a compelling presenter. He held his first of 4 workshops on August 29th. We had really great attendance from about, I'd say, just shy of 40 people, combined on-ground and hybrid. And then we look forward to offering the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th workshops, as well as what I think in one way that Jeff's proposal really stood apart was a weekly office hour, a virtual Zoom office hour that faculty who are teaching in these programs can log on and pose questions and get feedback from Jeff. So thank you to everyone who attended the first workshop. We hope to see even greater attendance at the upcoming workshops. And thank you to everyone who completed the scheduling poll. Based on feedback on the scheduling poll, kind of identifying the best times, as well as working with Jeff's very busy calendar, we did identify dates for workshops 2, 3, and 4. Workshop 2 will be September 28th from 2 to 3:30 p.m. Workshop 3 will be October 17th from 2 to 3:30 p.m. And workshop 4 will be November 14th from 2 to 3:30 p.m. All of this information will be coming via email and calendar invite later today, and I will also reattach the descriptions of each workshop. Each workshop has a slightly different focus, and we do anticipate, while the first workshop was, there was a lot of exposition, kind of table setting, a lot of context. We anticipate 2, 3, and 4 will be much more kind of hands-on engagement, kind of group work in some cases. So we're looking forward to that as well. And then the office hours will be on Thursdays from 2 to 3. And again, that will come out on an Outlook invite with the Zoom link. So we're really excited to move forward with that. And I believe those are all our updates. Thank you.
I just want to just comment. We have such talent and dedication in our workforce here. It is just such a pleasure and an honor to work with all of you. That's phenomenal work, life-changing work. It's so wonderful to see it growing. And I know from the very outset, we've heard lots of people talk about the importance of professional development for individuals that want to teach incarcerated and reentry students. And thank you for following through on that. That's really wonderful. Okay, so recently, to conclude here, Insight into Diversity magazine informed us that Hudson County Community College has been awarded for the 3rd consecutive year the Higher Education Excellence in Diversity, or HEED Award. And the Chronicle of Higher Education just yesterday, I think, announced that HCCC has again been selected to receive the Great Colleges to Work For Award as a result of our employees' feedback in last spring's confidential national survey administered by the Chronicle's partner organization, Modern Think. I know many of you filled out that survey. So this is the 2nd consecutive year we've been recognized as a great college to work for based on our employees and their perceptions. This year, we've been recognized with what they call honor roll status, which is awarded in recognition of organizations that meet more than half of the 10 standards of excellence that are measured through these surveys. We met 7 of the 10. That makes us an honor roll institution. All this is highlighted in a hard copy and virtual supplement of tomorrow's Chronicle of Higher Education. And there's a beautiful big ad, I think ours is the biggest, about our commitment to excellence and to everything that we do here. So this is owned by all of us. So I think those are great notes to end on.